Good morning, Year 7. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. This is Mr. Souza, welcoming you to today's lesson. Please could you write the date and the title of Village News Continued. Today, we will be continuing to think about the village newspaper. You will also need your plan from the last lesson, as well as a pen and paper. For your do now, I would like you to unscramble the letters to make words associated with the news. Please pause the video for 5 minutes to do this. Okay, so these are your answers. Newspaper, journalist, reporter, witnesses, headline, photographer, and press conference. So please can you make sure you've got the answers written down. Okay, task 1. The language of news reporting. Think of as many words as you can which mean said. You can use a thesaurus or an online one to find alternatives. Please pause the video for 10 minutes to do this. Okay, so these are some of the words you could have written down. Shouted, expressed, claimed, stated, exclaimed, remarked, revealed, described, and reported. So if you didn't get these, please could you write them down now? And also explained and told. Okay, so task 2. Read this newspaper report. Find the following information. Where exactly the flood happened, 3 different ways of saying said, an example of a tricolon, so a group of 3 words or phrases in the second paragraph, a fact about floodwater, the names of 2 people who are quoted, and a word to describe the sound of the water in the final column. So please pause the video for 10 minutes to do that now. Okay, so these are your answers. Where the flood happened. You can see this at the very beginning of the article, a seaside school in Westwater-on-Sea. And then you've got 3 different ways of saying said. These are highlighted in green. You've got explained, complained, exclaimed. You've also got told and remarked. So an example of a triplet or power of 3 in the second paragraph. An exceptionally high tide, strong onshore winds, and a torrent of torrential rain. A fact about floodwater. At the bottom of the first column, at the height of the flood, the water was almost 20 centimetres deep in some places. The names of 2 people who are quoted. We've got Mrs. Porter, we've got Ahmed, Sophia, and Deputy Head Mr. Maslin, I think it is. And then a word used to describe the sound of the water in the final column. You've got the water whooshes up. So really good word there. So please can you make sure you've got the answers written down in your book. Okay, task 3. So planning a news story. Last lesson you made a plan for your news story. What I would like you to do is get it out and go through it now. If you didn't add enough detail or didn't finish it, please could you also make sure to make it as detailed as possible. So please pause the video for 5 minutes to potentially add to it, or at the very least review what you've done. Okay, now I would like you to write up your story. And so what you need to include is where the event took place, who it involved, what happened, why it happened, and how it happened. It would be really good if you could include quotes from witnesses using different words for said. I would also like exciting descriptions and vocabulary, so consider using a thesaurus to look up some new words, clear paragraphs, and good punctuation. If possible, try not to just stick to full stops and commas, it gets a bit boring. Do try and use things like exclamation marks, and if possible, a dash or 2 or a colon would be very impressive. So please could you pause the video for 20 minutes to write up your newspaper story. Also, please make sure to give it a catchy headline. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work. Next time we will look at the issue of complaining in the village. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.